Hello, my fellow atheists. Welcome to Atheist Day. This is David Oliverio, the preaching humanist. My job is to educate people about secular humanism, promoting and advancing a beautiful worldview that is far above and beyond theistic religion. It is an alternative. So we as atheists, it is time for us to let other people know what we believe in rather than what we don't believe in. So my message is to promote this thing we call secular humanism for we who identify as atheists. So if you're an atheist and you're tired of people coming up to you and you have dialogue with people and they ask you, if you don't believe in God, then what do you believe in? You must believe in nothing. Well, through the many years of activism and talking to believers and non-believers, I have noticed that they do not understand the concept that you can have a fulfilled life, and we do believe in many wonderful things. Number one, we believe in love. Love is not a Christian virtue only. It is not a godly or a biblical or religious virtue. It is human. No God, no Bible, no Jesus, no religion is needed to define love nor to explain love. We have it innate in us as social animals. Number two, we believe in ethics and morals. How many times do we get that from people? If you're an atheist, how can you be moral and ethical? Why? We know because ethical values are derived from human need and human interest and tested by experience and the all-important consequences. We understand the concept of ethics and morals. We have it in us. Not long ago, at the Atheist Community of Austin booth, I and others have set up a booth at Market Days in Georgetown, Texas. I hold up my signs, and one of the signs I had says, secular humanism, good and moral without God, without belief in a God. A man about 30, 40 feet away, I get this all the time, looked at me, yelled out, "No way that'll ever happen." And I said, "What is that, sir?" He said, "You cannot be good without God. Only God and Jesus is good." And of course, as I always do, I answered him and said, with a smile on my face, I said, "Sir, you're wrong. We just got finished feeding homeless people before we came out here to set up the table. We must let people know that we believe in ethics and morals." Now, churches are very, very good at answering existential questions that humans have. Well, how did we get here? What's the meaning in life? What's purpose in life? How do you find ethics and values and fulfillment and happiness and love and so forth without belief in a God? There's a particular church right down the street from the ACA studio. And they're brilliant marketers. I used to be one of those preachers in the 70s and 80s, and I remember that. When you drive down past their church, they have signs out there. And it says, "You belong here. You are loved. If you come here, you will find meaning in life. You're going to be happy here. You'll have community." They're good at promoting and answering these questions. We have the same thing. We can answer them. We have something positive rather than talking about what we don't believe all the time. We need to tell them what we do believe in. We believe in having a fulfilled life, servicing other people. If there's a void in one's life, we don't have one of those God-shaped holes. That's what preachers like to talk about. Well, without Jesus, you got a God-shaped hole and you need to have fulfillment. We do have life fulfillment. Benefiting others, helping other people, finding things you love to do, and like icing on the cake, it makes it even better when you benefit and help other people. So we can have a fulfilled life. Number four, we believe as atheists and secular humanists that humans are social by nature and find meaning in relationships. Another question they like to have. Well, how do you find meaning in life if you're an atheist? Let me quote from a very intelligent man, my friend Dr. Anthony Penn from Houston, a fellow atheist and a fellow secular humanist. The markers of meaningful existence are only measured within the context of something larger than yourself. Well, David, that sounds Christian. You sound like an old preacher again. Hey, we do that in reality. We have something to share with people. Now, one more thing. This is one that I get all the time. Well, David, you're an atheist. You can't be happy. There's no way you could be happy without having a relationship with God through Jesus Christ. We as atheists and we as secular humanists believe that benefiting society maximizes individual happiness. Yes, happiness and joy without belief in a God. I've seen it many times when people go out with me or others to feed homeless people, do whatever you can for others. It does make you feel good because we're social animals. It's in us to do that. Let me tell you a little story. And I run into people all the time when I'm out with activism. And not only that, in my day-to-day adventures, going out to my clients' homes and so forth. I went into an Apple store to get my iPhone fixed because I don't know a lot about technology. Most people know that. And I'm going to tell you a story about Apple Store Baptist Deacon. And Apple Store Baptist Deacon was on a mission. He was out to save souls and let them know about the light of Jesus Christ, right? So I walked in, make a long story short, and I told the young guy up front, I said, look, I'm an old dude. I don't know much about technology. Help me out here, young man. I made him laugh. So he went down and sat me at a table waiting for the next available employee to come help me with my lack of technology. And he sat me down with a table with about 6 or 7 youngsters, the millennials, right? And I like to be around them. They're smart. And I noticed there was a gentleman probably younger than me, but he was probably in his 40s or 50s. And he was telling this young person next to him about his relationship with his wife. He said, I'm blessed. I thank God for my relationship with my wife now of 20 years, whatever. So I looked at him. I said, good morning, sir. And he goes, hi. And he started it off on me. I knew where Apple Store Baptist Deacon was headed. And he said, yes, I have a relationship with my wife because of my relationship with God. And I went, here's an opportunity to share with this man. And I did. I said, well, sir, that's really great. I said, I'm sure you have a lot in common, but I and my sweetie pie, Christine, are about to get married. Now, this was just past summer. We got married. And I said, and we are both atheists. And I've never been happier. And I said that. He looked at me. He didn't like that. He said, sir, that is impossible. I said, what is that, sir? What's so impossible? He said, it is impossible for an atheist to be happy. Well, I went on and I noticed I had a whole crowd of people. And knowing me with my preacher years ago, the more people, the better. So I said, sir, let me explain to you something. And I explained to him how you can find happiness in life, many ways, without belief in a God. So my fellow atheists, let's go out there and let our light of secular humanism shine. And let's tell people that there is something positive in this. It's not only what we don't believe. There are wonderful things that we believe. As humans, we have shared values and interests and ethics, even with believers. They don't know that. Let's go out there and tell them these things. Thank you so much and have a wonderful day.